Sabook, your shortcut to knowledge in minutes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we're all about unlocking smarter ways to live, work, and connect. Today, we're diving into one of the most influential business books of all time, Good to Great: Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't, by Jim Collins. This isn't just a book about companies, it's a book about transformation. It's about what separates the merely good from the truly great and what it really takes to build something that lasts. Jim Collins spent 5 years studying more than 1,000 companies, searching for those rare few that made the leap from being good to being truly great, and then stayed great for at least 15 years. What he discovered wasn't luck or timing. It wasn't even genius. It was something far deeper, something almost invisible from the outside, but incredibly powerful within. It was discipline, purpose, humility, and a relentless focus on doing the right things the right way for the right reasons. So let's take a calm and thoughtful look at the timeless lessons from Good to Great and how they applied not just to business, but to your own life. Every story of greatness begins with leadership, but not the kind of leadership most people expect. When Collins and his team studied great companies, they didn't find loud, charismatic, ego-driven CEOs. They found something very different, what he calls Level 5 leaders. Level 5 leaders are humble but fiercely determined. They care deeply about their company, their mission, and their people, more than they care about personal glory. They don't crave the spotlight. They don't make excuses. When things go wrong, they take responsibility. When things go right, they give credit to others. They blend personal humility with professional will. That's what makes them extraordinary. As Jim Collins puts it, Level 5 leaders channeled their ego needs away from themselves and into the larger goal of building a great company. It's a beautiful reminder for all of us that real greatness starts with quiet strength, not noise.
The next key insight is about people. Before you decide what to do, you need to decide who will do it. Collins describes this as getting the right people on the bus and the wrong people off. Most companies start with a plan, a destination, and then hire people to help them get there. But great companies do the opposite. They start with the right people first. Because when you have the right people, direction becomes flexible. You can adapt, shift, and grow. But if you have the wrong people, even the best plan won't save you. The right people don't need to be tightly managed. They're self-motivated, accountable, and passionate about the mission. Once you have the right team, the path forward becomes clear. And that lesson applies everywhere. In your career, your friendships, your creative projects. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, and greatness becomes inevitable. The next principle is what Collins calls the Hedgehog Concept. It comes from an old Greek parable. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. The fox tries everything: clever tricks, different strategies, endless ideas. The hedgehog focuses on one thing, curling into a perfect ball to defend itself. And every time, the hedgehog wins. In business and in life, great organizations think like hedgehogs. They focus on one clear, powerful idea, their one big thing. To find it, Collins says, you must answer 3 questions. What are you deeply passionate about? What can you be the best in the world at? And what drives your economic engine? What truly sustains you? Where those 3 circles overlap, that's your hedgehog concept. Greatness comes from clarity and focus, from knowing exactly what matters most and ignoring the rest. Good companies chase opportunities. Great ones pursue purpose.
Once you know your purpose, the next step is discipline. Discipline is what turns ideas into reality. It's what turns potential into greatness. Great companies build what Collins calls a culture of discipline. That doesn't mean strict rules or harsh control. It means freedom within a framework. People are free to make decisions, but within the boundaries of the company's values and mission. They don't need constant supervision because they're already aligned with the bigger goal. This kind of discipline is powerful because it's self-sustaining. It's not about forcing people to work harder, it's about helping them work smarter with purpose and pride. When everyone in an organization, or a family, or a team shares the same clarity, magic happens. Then there's technology. We often believe that technology drives success, but Jim Collins found that's not true. Technology doesn't create greatness, it accelerates it. The great companies didn't become great because of a new app, a new machine, or a new platform. They were already on the right path, and technology simply helped them go faster. The key is this: use technology as a tool, not as a crutch. Let it amplify your strengths, not distract you from your purpose. Now comes one of the most powerful ideas in the book, the flywheel effect. Picture a massive, heavy flywheel. It's so big, it barely moves when you first push. You keep pushing, slowly, steadily, turn after turn. It's exhausting at first, but each push builds on the last. And then, at some point, you feel it. The wheel begins to move faster. Momentum builds, and soon it's spinning almost on its own. That's how greatness is built. There's no single miracle moment, no overnight success, just consistent effort done well over time. Every small step compounds. Every good decision builds momentum. And eventually, success looks inevitable, even though it was earned slowly, patiently, quietly. The flywheel reminds us that persistence is power. But there's a flip side, what Collins calls the doom loop. This is what happens when companies or people lose patience, when they chase quick wins, change direction constantly, or panic when progress is slow. They spin their wheels, never gaining momentum, and eventually they burn out. The doom loop is a warning. Don't rush the process. Real growth takes time. Real greatness takes patience. Keep pushing the flywheel, one turn at a time. Another lesson from Good to Great is about honesty, what Collins calls confronting the brutal facts. Great companies never lie to themselves. They face the truth no matter how hard it is. They don't hide from bad news, they use it. They ask, what's really happening? What can we learn from this? When truth becomes part of the culture, fear disappears. People stop blaming and start solving. That's how great organizations grow stronger, by facing reality, not denying it.
And beneath all of these ideas, there's something deeper, a sense of moral purpose. Jim Collins found that great companies aren't just financially successful. They believe their work matters. They care about excellence because it's the right thing to do. They measure success not just in profit, but in contribution. They don't ask, how can we be famous? They ask, how can we be useful? And that quiet question becomes their compass. Now, let's bring this home. You don't need to run a company to apply these lessons. You can use them to transform your own life, to make the leap from good to great in whatever you do. Start by finding your hedgehog concept, your one big thing. Ask yourself, what do I love? What am I great at? And what makes my life or work truly meaningful? Then, stay disciplined. Focus on consistency, not speed. Build your own flywheel one small step at a time. Surround yourself with the right people, people who share your values and push you to grow. Be honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't. And above all, stay humble. Because greatness isn't about being louder or faster. It's about being truer to yourself, your values, and your mission. Jim Collins ends the book with a profound reminder. Greatness is not a function of circumstance. It is a matter of conscious choice. You don't stumble into greatness. You build it. You choose it every single day. And the beautiful truth is, you don't need a perfect plan or special luck or a title. You just need the courage to start and the patience to keep pushing that flywheel until momentum takes over. So as you go through your week, remember this. Don't settle for good when great is possible. Start small, stay consistent, and keep building your momentum. Because greatness in business, in work, and in life always begins with a choice. Thanks for listening. If you found this summary inspiring, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most powerful ideas. Books that help you live smarter, work better, and grow stronger. Until next time, stay focused, stay humble, and keep moving from good to great.